it's Miriam. Welcome to Women's Wisdom. So today I want to share with you 3 tips to goal setting. Now, why did I think about this topic? Because we're heading into the holiday of Passover. And as women, there's so much for us to do and accomplish in the next few weeks. There's so much cleaning and decluttering and organizing and then cooking and shopping. And there's so much. And yet we're heading into the holiday of Passover, which is all about the idea of redemption. And again, it's not just a story of the past, but really the work now is all of us stepping into our own personal redemption, our own personal geula. And that's really all about stepping into our own expansiveness. Doing it with joy, doing it in a lighthearted way, in a way of what's called menucha, in a way of peace, is really a big part of that process, because that's the whole energy of geula. So I really want to focus these 3 tips on how we can do this, how we can set these goals and attain these goals in a healthy, joyous, and expansive way. So in order to understand that, we have to look at this from a spiritual, Kabbalistic perspective. So when we talk about this idea of implementing our goals, we're talking about the soul power of what's called a netzach. So again, we have these 10 sphirot, these 10 soul powers within us. And they start with this idea of keter, which is our inner will, our inner desire. So we have a desire, we want to accomplish something. We have a task that we want to accomplish. Then it goes down, it trickles down into our chachma bina das, which is our intellectual faculties of our soul. We contemplate on it and we realize, like, this is something really good for me, something I need to accomplish, something I really want to accomplish. Then that goes down and that births the emotional experience. Now, the Spherotic Tree is divided into 2 sides. We have the left side and the right side. The left side is the side of gevura, the side of discipline, more restraint, holding back, creating borders. And the right side is the side of chesed, of kindness, of love, of expansiveness. So when we think about this idea of netzach, we have goals that we want to implement, the idea of netzach is translated as endurance or victory and eternal. So what side would we think that would fall into? So naturally, we would think that falls more into the idea of gevura. And in order to reach our goals, we have to be very focused and very disciplined. But yet, netzach is actually on the right side of the Spherotic Tree. And that really teaches us so much about the whole mind frame and the whole perspective really of setting goals. Because in order for us, again, to set goals that are netzach, that are eternal, that we can actually accomplish, they have to come from a space within us, an expansive space of joy and ease and a lightheartedness really in accomplishing that. So again, what are these 3 tips for doing that? For reaching our goals, setting goals and reaching our goals in a way of expansiveness, in a way of this redemptive geula energy within us. And that is, the first one is, again, changing the energy, really making sure that the energy that we are feeling, the energy that we are embracing within us is one of expansiveness. So I'm going to give you an example for this. I enjoy waking up early in the morning. It gives me time before I wake up my kids to greet my day. I use it as a time to learn, to pray, a time for myself. And I was having a really hard time doing it. So I would set my alarm for like 5:30 in the morning, and I just was snoozing. I just was not waking up. And then I realized that instead of me thinking about I want to wake up because I want to accomplish this and this and this, my perspective shift. I focused more on the energy, that I want to greet my day with an expansive feeling, with a feeling of love. I want to greet my day with a feeling of joy. And instead of focusing on the goal, I focus on the energy within myself that I want to feel. And that made a very big shift. So when I would set my alarm at night, I would really think about, how do I want to greet my day? Like, what's the energy that I want to greet my day with? and really try to embody that feeling of openness and lightheartedness and love and expansiveness within myself. So tip number 2 is changing our language, the language that we use. Because the language is connected to our soul faculty called Bina. Bina also means to build. So we really build our reality based on the language that we actually choose to use. So for example, instead of I have to do this goal, I should do this, I need to do this, I must do this, it's starting to step into the language of I want to do this. I want to do this because this makes me feel good. It makes me feel expansive. I feel like I'm connecting to myself, my essence, my soul in a much, much greater, joyful, bigger, expansive way. So again, it's the language, and even not only the language that we use in terms of our words really affects our inner chatter, our inner dialogue that really goes on within ourselves, because all of us have so many limiting beliefs about ourselves, so much scripts that we are inner chatter that we're actually saying within ourselves that are limiting our abilities to really step into our greatness. But so again, when we actually make that shift from I have to, I need to, I must, to I want to, the shift in language is a very big shift within ourselves in order to accomplish goals from this place of self-love and expansiveness. The third tip that I have is breaking down our goals and celebrating the small steps along the way. So let's say, for example, I want to clean out my room. So instead of saying, okay, this is my goal is to clean out the room, it's like breaking it down every day, doing a closet, a drawer, something different every day, and making sure to celebrate the small steps, to really celebrate the victories, celebrating what we do, celebrating our accomplishments. Because so often we get into this intense mind frame when we think of a goal, like, ooh, I have this goal I want to accomplish, and it seems so big. But when we break up our goals into little small steps, and we really, really focus on celebrating our accomplishments along the way, that really helps us stepping into Netzach from a healthy perspective spiritually and emotionally, which is one of love and expansiveness and joy and menucha and lightheartedness. And that really, again, when we're doing that, when we're in this mind frame of that helps our goals to be Netzach, which is eternal. Because when we're doing things, again, from this place of intensity, of gevura, of I have to do this, I need to do this, I must do this, to prove to myself my own worth, instead of from this place of this self-love, that I'm intrinsically loved by God, I'm intrinsically valuable, I'm intrinsically worthy, not based on what I accomplish, but we're really tapping into a healthy sense of self-love. That helps us, our goals to be eternal. It helps our goals to be sustainable, and it really brings joy in the process, which is really what we're tapping into the energy of Passover, of redemption, which is all about stepping into joy and this expansive and lightheartedness and within ourselves and within the entire world. So anyway, wishing you all a beautiful day and lots of joy and lots of simcha in accomplishing what we need to accomplish in all of our goals, and especially in our goal of bringing more light and love into the world. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.